Hi, everybody. Holy crust on cannoli today. Oh, my goodness. How are you guys all doing in this lovely Mercury Retrograde season is upon us? And I just needed to come in today because the energy is off the charts. Okay. So, how are we going to look at the energy this week? I just wanted to tell you guys if you have gone from August into September with all the crazy fast-paced energy over the first couple weeks. And now we're like almost at a standstill and emotions are going all over the place. And then it's almost like everything's kind of like in limbo that you guys have been working on, your projects, long-term things that you've been dealing with and working on, dreams, goals, all that stuff. And I feel, and I just want to put this out there to you guys that if it was yesterday, today, or tomorrow, there might be some news coming through a digital source, whether that's an email, a voicemail. I don't feel it's going to be like one-to-one, like somebody calling you or in person, but you may be receiving news that longer term projects or things you have been working on in the past 6 months to even a year. There may be some disappointing news coming from some of these sources. Now, none of this, the good news is that while it's going to be disappointing and confusing, and you got to avoid arguments, especially with people close to you, because you're not really going to get anywhere. It's just going to be the same argument that you've probably been having over and over and over again with the same people. So I would just say, if you see that energy starting up, cut it loose, nip it in the bud, because no resolution is going to come of it. But like I said, today, there is a lot of confusion. And like I said, I do feel like a lot of you might have some, let me put on this light here because I'm having some, that might work. Yeah, so just be aware that you're going to be having some crazy twists and turns coming in the next week. I've gotten emails and voicemails and texts. People are like, it's not even retrograde, hasn't even hit yet, and I'm going crazy. So if you guys are feeling like that, know that the energy is really, really, see already, like look, it's the sun's right here. You guys can't even probably see me. So hi, Edward, how you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Ann Nober. Christine, good to see you. Hi, Paula, always lovely to see you too. So yeah, I want to know if you guys are resonating with this or if you've had some of this news recently. These are big projects. These are things that aren't like, hey, I'm disappointed because I can't return something at a store today. These are things that are dreams, goals, stuff that you have put into motion long-term, that you will start to feel like your stability and security is a little rattled with this digital news that you should be receiving. But the good news is we're in the retrograde, we're in the red days, and we just went into the retrograde. The good news is that nothing is actually, set in stone. Nothing is actually is what it is. So any news you might be hearing, the people that are giving the news are just as confused as you receiving the news. So know that in the next week or two, while clarity is not there, you will be having clarity. But with the retrograde in effect, this one specifically, which is in Libra, relates to the heart and matters of the heart. So these are creative projects. These are family decisions. These are big dreams and goals connected to not just making money, but the heart and like basically stuff that really, really means a lot to you. So I always believe that I need to be transparent. And while I come on here and give a lot of optimistic news and encouragement, I also have to let you know what's coming so that you don't go too far into the doldrums and get depressed or all sorts of freaked out thinking that this isn't part of the energy. So I just want to show you guys kind of what's going on tonight in a photo view here. So yeah, tonight, Wednesday, September 29th, we have 6 planets retrograde. If you could see that here, not only Mercury, but Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. I want to say Uranus because when I was in school, Like that's what we were told, but now it's like, oh, you can't say that. So I'm going to say Uranus, even though it feels really weird to say that. So as we look at the fine print, with 6 planets retrograde, along with Chiron and North Node of the Moon, it becomes nearly impossible not to re-engage with the past relationships, feelings you thought you've buried, and even clear memories of past lives coming back to us. So be very careful. Do not engage in fights. Learn the lesson and let it go. That's easier said than done, my friends, right? Easier said than done. So yeah, so Christine's like, what a mess. Well, it is kind of, but if you know, like the weather report, like if you know that there's snow coming or rain, you get prepared, right? If you don't know, then it's not a thing. So that's what channeled messages are for. Basically, so that you do know, you could prepare yourself and you could say, Marissa said this, so I'm not going to get myself all in a tizzy. And I'm going to realize today is a day that I just need to take what's coming my way and not let it take me too down into the low, into the low energy centers. Don't need to do that. So for those of you that are here, that are always here, you're commenting, I see you. I feel you. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm happy to see you guys. For those of you that are new, if you like the weekly forecast that I'm doing and you want to plan out your manifestation calendar for the month to know what the best times are to take action in your career, your love life, your health, make sure you're getting on my monthly energy forecasts, which are not live and they're not searchable. You need to get a private link to go on those, and it's free. So you just go into the description of this video on YouTube, Facebook, and if you are on Instagram, it is the link in bio. And you just put your email in and you'll be receiving the monthly energy forecast of the 15th of the month. Paula, oh my God, my sister has been really trying to engage in the arguments this week. Yeah, so people in lower energies that aren't on that transformative spectrum where they're looking to change their life and they're just cycling over and over again. And we all cycle in patterns. And that's where my work is kind of leading toward. I am just at this point, from going through the pandemic, from going through my own personal work, I'm realizing, readings aren't always the answer. Okay. We're not here to predict the future. Intuitive guides supposed to look in the present, show you a roadmap of where you're going. And you can say, hey, here are all the highways. Here's the ones with the most construction and the detours. Here's the ones which will take you past all the beautiful scenery. And here's the one that'll take you through past all those places. And you're going in a whole new direction, right? So it's up to you to decide. You're getting in the car, you're driving. So I've been doing this 25 years. And in the early parts of my career, I was only in my early 20s, right? So now you guys know I'm a little bit older than 30, right? So you're at that point. And sorry, I just heard something, so I got distracted. I don't even know what I'm talking. See how ADD the energy is, like completely. Yeah. So at this point in my career, I realize I can't help people who are coming to me looking for, magic answers like here, psychic, medium, predict my future. Your future is in your hands. If you decide not to change, that is on you. A psychic or medium cannot make other people change around you. So I'm seeing a lot of these types of sessions, people coming and saying, hey, change everybody around me because I can't deal with all of these crazy people in my life and my family or my spouse, whatever. And it's like, no, we can't look at all those people. The real work is in our own transformation. And that's what my work is. My work is to help you transform so that you can make decisions, whether you have crazy people around you or not. You don't have to engage in that energy. Unfortunately, if we were raised in dysfunction, if we were raised in energies that weren't ideal, you as a child absorb that energy and then you repeat that. So I actually had a few clients this week. They're like, oh, well, I'm making these decisions because I don't want to repeat what my parents repeated. So I'm not going to change my circumstances because they, they didn't move a bunch of times and we're going to stay still, or they didn't, they got divorced 3 times. So I'm just going to remain unhappy and not get divorced. And it's like, no, that's not changing your generational pattern, right? That's not changing the pattern. The pattern is in what you attract. And that's the pattern. If you decide to stay in that pattern or not, just because you make a different decision than your parents, and you can't, it's what we attract based on our frequency and our energy. So my work is delving more into helping you change those patterns, change those energies. And as I've been telling you guys, I'm not streaming as much as I used to because I am developing the intuitive development courses online, which took me 15 years to do. And I'm doing it because of my manifesting course that I channeled, because I couldn't get it done in 15 years because I was procrastinating with other things in my business and my life. So the manifesting course was channeled to me. And now it only took me a couple months to do what I couldn't do in 15 years. So if you're wanting that, that's what I always say to start out with, is the manifesting course. It gets you connected to source energy, and it gets you moving and actually producing in 3 times the amount of time that you normally do. Gets rid of draining energy and helps you to really, really center and engage with your source energy and your alignment, your soul purpose. But then secondly, if you've already done that, then we got to get into the intuitive development. And we can't develop intuitively until our nervous system is regulated, right? And what I mean by that is just like our nervous system can't be all over the place with tons of stuff and our mind racing and all these people pulling out our energy and constantly being drained. And we're constantly anxious because a lot of people think they just have anxiety or depression. And some people do have chemical or anxiety or depression. But sometimes that's related to the energies they're absorbing of other people too. And it's basically they're in high frequency and have no grounding or no balancing. And so they can't get grounded. And if you leave the body out of the equation, I know a lot of talented psychics and mediums that are just up in the upper chakras. They get lots of information. This is where I was when I first started. But when you leave the body out, your personal life as an intuitive, as a highly sensitive person, you're going to just be attracting the same situations over and over again in your personal life. So this intuitive development course is not just to get you to say, oh, I'm an intuitive. I can do these things. You all can do them. You all born with it. Nobody has broken intuition, no matter how broken, whatever kind of broken family you came from. You just have broken energy and stuck energy. So we're going to take that and unstick it in these courses. And for those of you who are like, I don't know if I want to take an intuitive development course, I'm going to have like a mini course, an introduction. So like a 3-part mini course, you guys can take that, see if you like it. And then for those of you that want to get real serious about really changing your life and energy and attracting different, intuitive development is part technique. It's part process. It's part learning how to do the technique, but it's also part of unblocking energy and understanding what your energy is doing, so that we can start to move it in a more flowing energy so that you can attract better opportunities, right? So I am continuing to write, continuing to film. And this intuitive development course is going to be different than anything you're going to see on the market, because it's going to involve manifesting, intuition, and helping to ground your nervous system. If you don't ground that nervous system, you'll be all over the place. So you'll be getting all sorts of information, but you're not going to really change your life. You're just going to be opening up to all more energies. You don't want to do that. So that's what I'm working on. I don't have a release date yet because I actually planned to have it be one thing. And as you know, I channel stuff. So the course is actually completely different than I had planned it, which I think is much better because the universe, again, manifesting with Marisa was channeled. This is channeled. And I'm like, wow, this stuff is great that's coming through. So it's going to be really, really deep. And you could go as deep as you want. You can go as light as you want. I'm just very excited to get this out to you guys. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And I hope you guys are just as excited about the intuitive development online course, which you could do as a DIY. You could take it at your own pace, and you could learn as you go along in your busy lives. Let's see what Darlene has to say. I sold the house I grew up in. It had a lot of negative energy in it from the past. And it feels so much better. Okay. This is great, Darlene. I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah. This energy right now is all about pruning your tree. Okay. Especially now. I actually just posted this on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's just simple at Marisa Liza Pell. I'm just going to put that down. Follow me on IG. I post different things on Instagram than I do on Facebook. So it's not going to just be all the same stuff. So Lojo's here. I love Lojo. She's one of our Manifesting with Marisa students, founding members, actually. So Lojo's asking a question. Let's see what she has to say. Can you take the intuitive course if you're not sure if you have dealt? I'm not sure what that means, Lojo. You might have to clarify. Maybe you're not dealt a certain deck of cards. I don't know. Just let me know. Let me know. Oh, can you take the intuitive course if you have not dealt, if you have dealt, if you're not sure if you've dealt with your emotional baggage? Well, let me tell you something, Lojo. Most of the people who are intuitive, okay, I'm going to go high here, 90%. Most of the people that are intuitive, highly sensitive, talented already, psychics and mediums, they don't know it, have lots of emotional baggage. They absorbed it when they were young. They had to develop defense systems. If you absorbed energy, you had to protect yourself from energy. You had to read other people's energy. So your talents have been developed as a result of the emotional baggage. So you have heightened sensitivity because of your emotional baggage. So your burden is also a gift, as far as I'm concerned. So most of the people that are taking this course are looking for, well, nobody's taken it yet, but they've taken it when I had it in person. I did 12 years of this course, but not with the nervous system regulation, which is what we need if we had trauma or dysfunction in our childhood, because that means our energy is blocked in certain areas. Okay. So if we just stay in intuition, we're not dealing with the body and regulating our ability to connect in our own body and with ourselves and with the world around us. Most psychics and mediums are actually happier being disconnected and out of their body, because that's what they know. And it's more comfortable to be on the other side than it is to be in this world. So this is meant for people that do have, yes, emotional baggage, and a lot of people that are highly sensitive. And I'm not saying emotional baggage means that you had to come from like a crazy toxic household. It means that maybe your parents worked a lot and weren't around, or maybe you were pressed to be, accomplish, and couldn't really be who you wanted to be. Maybe you had parents who struggled with anxiety or depression and you absorbed that energy. This is all part of developing those skills of being highly sensitive. So yes, this course is going to blend getting balanced with that emotional baggage, because that's what you're going to need to heighten that intuition that you already have. So you already have it. So there's going to be techniques. There's going to be balancing stuff. There's going to be explaining things about energy to you that you had no idea were going on. And it's going to really surprise you how much you already know. So a lot of people that I've talked to, a lot of the mentors and everything, like, just do the course as a whole, give it to people. But I think that people might be on different levels with this course. Some people might not be ready to go the full gamut. Some people might just want a little bit. So I'm going to break it up. And the people that really want to go full on transformation, it's there. People who just want a week of learning what your strength is, what your ability is, what your gift is, you could do a week. Levels 1. There's going to be levels 1, 2, and 3 in the beginner series, right? And then there's going to be an intro course, which is a 3-part mini series, which is going to introduce you to all the foundations, basics, and building blocks. And it's going to be really accessible. So Lojo, I hope to see you there. Anybody who is on here that's interested in the intuitive development course, make sure that you're on my monthly energy forecast email list. You'll get an announcement when we are going to be opening the course, because I don't have a wait list yet for those of you who are really interested. So it's in the description of this video. But I hope what I'm talking about you guys can resonate with. And everybody needs intuitive development in their lives, because I don't really feel that it's really good at this point where our world is at and where we are at, that we should be just seeking external guidance from, psychics or mediums, even though that's my, that's my livelihood, that's my job, that's my career. I don't think it's wise to seek that as a relief to your anxiety or for someone else to make decisions for you. So I think with intuitive development, You want to learn self-trust. You want to learn how to trust your inner wisdom. And you want to go to somebody like me when you're ready to do transformational work and you want to see that map of your life, those pathways. You want to see what's on the road for you, and you want to be able to make very informed decisions. Like you're coming to a consultant and saying, here's where I want to go on a vacation. And they're saying, okay, well, you could take I-81, you could take 380, you could take the scenic route, but that's going to take you 4 more hours. There's construction here. This is a really bad way to go. Or you could just bypass that whole vacation and go on this vacation. That's the job of a really developed and transformative guide who has intuition and mediumship ability, which is where I'm going with my clients. Okay. So if you're looking to just get a psychic reading or to look for that, release from your anxiety, but you don't want to make a change, you go to a tarot card reader, you can go to a psychic. But I believe that at this point in time, there are people like, we have so many free will decisions. The world is changing so much. Your future changes daily with your free will decisions. So as an intuitive guide, I am looking into the present, and then I'm looking into what those present energy lines, where they go. I'm looking at a map of what you want to go with your life and where you want to go. So if you're like, hey, I want to go on a vacation where I don't want to be around a lot of kids and a lot of crowds, but I want to go to Disney World, I'd be like, what are you thinking? You'd be like, well, I went there for the last 10 years, but I don't like vacations where there's kids and crowds. I'm like, why? I don't get it. And then you're saying to me, well, you make sense, Marisa, but it's what I do every year. So that's what I'm going to do, even though I hate doing it. That's the insanity of people that come just to get relief for reading. I don't do general readings anymore because it's not going to help you. If you want something like that, do it for entertainment, do it at a cocktail party. I don't know. Yes. So Stephanie, I think on a spiritual level, I'm in a good place, but I have to admit to blocks that are keeping me in the same spot sometimes. Yes. So Stephanie, you're in our manifesting course. You have a lot of goals. I have a lot of people who've taken the manifesting course and they're like, okay, like, I don't even know what my goals are, but you have so many goals. You have so much drive. You have so much passion. You are not in any way lacking positivity and optimism. But you're right. There's some grounding aspects to your energy which need to be kind of brought back into the body and some more structure. And that's where the intuitive development is going to help you, because it's going to explain your energy, those blockages, and how to actually integrate them and go with your opposite energy, which is going to help you flow a little bit more and attract better opportunities. Because sometimes with careers and everything like that, we might see the same things happening in our careers where we have those drop-off points and we think things are getting off the ground, but then they're not, or the relationships that keep happening over and over again, or the friendships that keep happening over and over again. That's a result of the early childhood experience or energy. And that's what we're looking to address in intuitive development. And we're looking to also integrate the opposite energies to open up and to receive what the universe has in store for us. So Stephanie, I think you're a great person. You are in a great place, but I'd love to see you manifest those higher level opportunities. So make sure you are on our Slack channel in our community for Manifesting with Marisa, Stephanie, because we're going to be doing an all student live Q&A call for people that need to get back on the beam and get back onto their goal tracks. So make sure this month that you jump on that call. All right. So I have enjoyed talking to you guys about this stuff because I am very passionate about it. I've done it myself when my life was out of control. And I told the universe, hey, if I'm going to help my clients, and I got to really do some of this work myself. And I didn't realize I wasn't really paying attention to my body, because my whole career has been about mediumship and intuition, but yet my life wasn't reflecting that peace and contentment that, I needed, and that stability of my energy just kind of going along the lazy river, right? To where I felt like it was a good pace. It was the pace that I could exist at that was comfortable for me. I was all over the place. I was constantly striving, doing, but I was on a hamster wheel. And I wasn't enjoying it, but it seemed like what I had to do. But I don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So I'm going to make life a little bit more easier for you by giving you all the information you need. And instead of calling me for a reading and spending a bunch of money to talk to me for an hour to tell you, hey, you need to change, get in on these courses, then give me a call and say, here's what I want to do. Let's spend a month doing it, creating that strategy and actually following through with it. Then your life will change, right? But if you just, get a reading and expect to just feel better, yeah, that's not what I'm doing. There are people that do that. I used to do that. When I started my career on morning drive radio on some top market, like Philadelphia radio, like morning drive, huge radio, right? Big, major market. And people would just call in. I'd give them session. They were so impressed by what I could do and tell them what I saw coming up. But like all these things happened. They're like, wow, Marisa, your insight is just amazing. But it's like, I was seeing what they were going to do. I was seeing their pathway. I was seeing the next exit they were getting off. And they thought it was so amazing because these things happen. But is it going to be the best next step for you? Is it your divine next step? Or is it just, the next step in the pattern? I don't want to see you guys keep repeating stuff. So that's why I'm creating all this content, because for me to coach you guys one-on-one all the time would require so much time, so much energy on both of our parts. But I want to make things accessible for everybody so you can get moving. And if you're not in the manifesting course, that's where I suggest you start, because that's the basics of source alignment, the basics of the practical toolkit you're going to need to start moving energy, where intuitive development is really where you're going to see what your gifts are, and you're going to learn where your blocks are, and you're going to learn exactly how to balance that energy so that you could be a vessel as a channel for yourself. And then after that, you're going to go into the nervous system regulation and getting rid of all the blips in energy from any dysfunction you experienced early in your life. And then the sky's the limit. You're free, and I did my job, and you don't need to come back, right? So make sure you are on the monthly newsletter in the description of this video, so you get the monthly calendar and what's coming up for the month, 15th of every month. And if you want to get notified when we are releasing the intuitive development series, make sure you are on that email list. All right. So Stephanie, glad you feel seen. Impulsive's good. It means you take action, but we need to take strategic action, right? So we will see you guys soon. And I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of The Office with me, medium and intuitive, Marisa Liza Pell. We'll see you soon. And if you want to go to my website and have access to other live streams, podcasts, the Intuitive Radio podcast is up from 2015, and we're going to be releasing season 2 next year. It's all about love and relationships and intuition. And I interview celebs, authors. Trista Sutter, the first Bachelorette, I interviewed as well. Those are very entertaining. So if you just want to laugh and have a good time, listen to the podcast. It's Intuitive Radio, Relationship Insight with an Intuitive Twist. The lounge will be coming back. We just don't know when or what, because we're looking to reformat it. So I will see you guys soon. I hope you have a great day, a great week, and just don't get too disappointed today. Let it roll off. All right, we'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.